Hello, Jim Dowson here, Jim Dowson Unplugged. I want to speak to you today about a very sensitive issue. Obviously up north, not many people are paying that much attention to it, but down south it's a big story. And it's about it's three elderly people, two brothers and a sister, being evicted from their house in Roscommon, which is over in Connaught in the Republic of Ireland. It's caused a hell of a row. And there's been all sorts of footage on the internet about it. I want you to watch this film.
What? No, I'm not putting him away. What? Look at these fucking scans. Look. Hey! Hey! You got to stand there and watch this happen. Private property! You're on private property! I'm not on any private property. Hold! Do your job. He will be responsible. He will be responsible. Give me a hand.
Okay, as you see with that film, elderly people, and these aren't trash people, these are respectable people who have hit hard times because of the banks, because of the economy, nothing that they've done. They're not on the drugs, they're not on the bevy, they're not doing anything wrong. They've just hit hard times and they're still paying their mortgage and so on and so forth. And the house has been in the family for generations. Anyway, the bank, KBC Bank, which is a Belgian bank, have decided, no, we're going to kick these folk out. And somebody in their wisdom and close to Leo Varadkar, this is the Prime Minister of Ireland. And you might wonder, is Varadkar a good old Gaelic name? No, funny enough, it's not. There was no Varadkars at the GPO in 1916. I don't think there's any Varadkars in the flying columns. No, he's seemingly an Indian descent guy. Well, him and his cronies, his banking cronies, think it's okay to throw Irish people out their houses. But what imbecile thought it was okay to employ Northern Irish Protestants like me to go to Connaught and evict Irish Catholics? What could possibly go wrong? Are you mad? And why would somebody do this? Look, when the whole thing with Cromwell, and and let's be clear here, I'm a Protestant from a loyalist background. I made no apologies for that. I had family, and my wife's family were burned out of Cavan in the 1920s. So I know how it goes, I know the script, and I know the delicate nature of this island and how easy it is to stir up sectarian hatred. And I would say this is deliberate. And if anybody's got a brain, engage it and listen to what I'm saying to you. Nobody's talking about the banks now. The banks being a pack of scumbags, evicting Irish people from their homes. Everybody's talking about Northern loyalists coming down to Roscommon and kicking Irish Catholics out. Wise up. Seriously, wise up on this. Do not allow people to manipulate this into a sectarian thing. The real criminals here, and I mean criminals, are the bankers and the elitists and the politicians who have allowed this situation to develop. And why do you think they used a so-called loyalists from Northern Ireland to do this? Because they knew if it all goes wrong, through the smoke and haze of sectarian bile, they slink away into the corner. So the real criminals walk away blameless. And that's what's happened. And I just want to clarify one thing. Loyalists that I know, and I'm a loyalist, I would never dream of evicting anybody from their house, whether they be Catholic, Protestant, Hindustani, or anybody else. And I certainly would not dream in 1,000 years of crossing the border into the Irish Republic and kicking Irish Catholics out their house in Connaught, of all places. Because we remember Cromwell, he said you can either go to Connaught or go to hell. So I suppose the only place left under Varadkar's Ireland for Irish Catholics now is hell. That's what he's forced them into. He's done something that Cromwell couldn't do. This is the modern Ireland. And I'm an Ulster Protestant loyalist, and I'm horrified. Not only horrified, I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious that these bankers and this imbecile Varadkar and his cronies, his banker cronies who destroyed Ireland, wrecked Ireland, bankrupted Ireland, has made the Irish suffer that they haven't suffered since the famine in the way they're suffering now because of bankers, not because of the Brits or the English, because of their own people. The elitists amongst the Irish are feeding like parasites on the decent Irish people, especially the farmers, especially the rural community. They're being sucked dry by these bloodsuckers, these parasites who sit with their suits on in Dublin and just pass pieces of paper about. And what happens? Have you seen this footage? Old people dragged across the car park of their own yard. And then what happened? Well, the locals were quite upset, and a gang of masked men attacked the bailiffs and beat the bollocks out of them. And, you know, I'm not here to condemn or condone violence in any way, shape or form, but I can tell you something right now. In Newton, I live up in the north in Newton Ards, and I've a load of Southern Irish Republicans come up here to kick out a couple of old Protestant farmers. And this is what I want the Protestants who are listening to this to think about. Imagine who you would feel. A couple of old Protestant ladies and an old gentleman or something like this in a wee farm in Newton Ards or Cumber or one of these places up north were getting dragged out their house by their ears and by their faces, dragged by big burly Irish Republicans. Would you not be down at the house defending them? Would you not be down with a bat? I would suggest they'd be far worse done than what happened in Roscommon. Far worse. I think they could be picking up folk for the end of the side of the street. It's not right. And I say I don't condemn or condone what's going on there. I'm dealing with facts and reality. And if you drag old people out their own homes, well-known, well-respected, hard-working, decent families, well-known in the community, and you send a load of people who have no business being there in the first place, you send them in on the bank's advice, the bully boys at the bank, to drag these people out physically by their head and by their hair and by their ears. I mean, these people are dragged out by their ears and thrown about the ground. What do you think's going to happen? What do you honestly think's going to happen? But again, look, we have to come back to reality here. It seems this security firm, sadly, was from Portadown. Sadly, they come from a unionist background. But I can assure you, I don't know any decent unionists to be part of this throwing old people out their homes. This is not how unionists and true loyalists are. This is not how we do things. And please remember this. In the Glasgow rent strike, turn of the last century, the Protestants marched into a Catholic district to save them from being kicked out of their houses by the bailiffs. That's a historical fact. And vice versa. We stood together and we should stand together again. Do not allow sectarianism to raise its ugly head here, because this is what the banks want. Everybody's talking about this now and calling people British bees and this, that, and I can understand the anger and I get it and it's fine. And I think there'd be worse things called if a load of Irish Catholics come up here to kick out old people out of their home. Yes, we get that. It's Ireland. It's not a difficult place to poke somebody and get a sectarian reaction. But this is what the banks want. And this is why the banks employed a loyalist group for the North to do it. Because they knew this would happen. If it all went wrong, people would be concentrating on this rather than concentrating on the scumbags, the bankers who are destroying people's lives. They're taking people's homes, family homes that they've had for maybe 100 years, and they're crucifying all of us. Do you know where most food kitchens are? In Ireland. In North Down. They're not in the slums of Dublin. They're not in the slums of Belfast. They're in North Down, the middle class Volvo and vodka belt. You know why? Because the bankers have got the middle class so screwed to the table with mortgages and loans that they could never afford in the first place. But the banks said, no, take it. You're entitled to take it. It'll be no problem. Now it's a problem. And middle class people are having to go to food banks. Can you believe it? They're going begging food. This is what our grandparents did in the 1930s during the Depression. People who are now accountants and lawyers and working for the government and doing all this, they're skint because they're overextended. Somebody in the dole in Belfast has more money than the average middle class person. I'm talking about disposable income. You don't see middle class people out now eating or going to the pub for a few pints. They have no money. They have no money to go to the pub for a few pints. They're hawked up to their eyeballs by the very same people who send a load of big burly men from Portadown down into Roscommon to throw a couple of old people out their own house, their family house. It's disgraceful. It's an outrage. And I would appeal to the good loyalist Protestants in the North to condemn it, to absolutely be opposed to it, and to stand with those people in Roscommon who are in danger of losing their homes. And I would appeal to the Catholics in Roscommon and nationalists, Republicans, whatever you want to call yourself, not to be drawn into a sectarian thing. These people who drag these folk out of their homes do not represent me. They do not represent the good Protestants in the North. We want nothing to do with it. And I can tell you here and now, if this thing keeps continuing, I'll come to Roscommon. I'll chain myself to those people's gates. I will lie in front of their driveway. And I will help repel any more of these thugs that come to these people's doors. And there will be no surrender. This is unacceptable. And I stand 100% with those people in Roscommon and anywhere in the island of Ireland who are losing their homes to the bankers. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you again.